Hey, this is Ryan of Happy Healthy Vegan. So I'm going to respond to this video here put out by a YouTuber named Dorothea. And in case you're watching this, Dorothea, and you may have heard of my reputation, don't worry, I'm not here to rip you to shreds or anything of the sort. She made this video about why she's no longer vegan, and I thought I'd respond to it because a lot of interesting things came up. So let's jump into it.
A big part of why I left, I'm the kind of person where I really don't like to be defined by any outside label.
Okay, I can fully relate to that. I don't like to be defined by labels as well, particularly as a music artist. I just like to say I make music, I'm not a certain genre producer or anything like that. And same with veganism. I don't think that defines who I am as a person. I'm just a person who wakes up in the morning, doesn't eat any animal products throughout the entire day, and that's how every day goes. You don't have to define yourself by your diet is what I'm saying.
I just want to be who I am, and that is not 100% vegan. Even if you're eating 90% vegan most of the time, 9 times out of 10 going for those veggie fruit products, then you're not vegan. You are by definition not vegan.
Yes, the word vegan has a very specific definition. Either you're eating a vegan diet, which means no animal products whatsoever, or you're not. It's just how the word's defined.
I found the vegan diet to be very dogmatic.
Well, I completely disagree with this notion of vegan diets or veganism being dogma or dogmatic. Let's look at the definition according to Merriam-Webster of dogmatic, characterized by or given to the expressions of opinions very strongly or positively as if they were facts. Well, let's look at the actual definition of veganism by the Vegan Society, a pretty well accepted definition, not perfect, but it gets the job done. And as you see here, it's a statement of moral and ethical principles. It's not saying that these are facts. These are moral principles that you either agree with or disagree with. This is not dogma.
I was vegan, hardcore, raw vegan, which is like the most extreme kind of vegan you can be, for about 4.5 years.
Aha, raw veganism. Yeah, now I get what you're saying about dogmatic. Yeah, there's nothing more dogmatic out there than raw vegan dogma. For instance, let's talk about information presented as if they were facts, asserting them, like Doug Graham here, the founder of the 80-10-10 movement. In his book, Grain Damage, asserts that grains are addictive, even compares them to cigarettes and other addictive drugs. Again, providing no science whatsoever, no studies, just putting this out there as if it were fact. This is pure dogma.
I was vegan, hardcore, raw vegan, which is like the most extreme kind of vegan you can be.
So I think that's your problem there, Dorothea. You weren't following a sensible, rational, scientifically backed vegan diet for 4.5 years. You went full on in this extreme diet, and you're right for calling it that. I don't think it's an extreme vegan diet. It's just an extreme diet. I mean, pretty much everything's eliminated from food, from being considered food, unless you could pluck it direct from the earth and eat it right then and there. I mean, just whole, completely healthy food groups are gone in 80-10-10. He says like legumes and starches are bad because you can't just naturally eat them, and cooked broccoli is bad because the proteins and nutrients have been denatured and degraded and stuff like that. I mean, this is not the diet that vegan doctors are promoting, real actual medical doctors like, say, Dr. Garth Davis, Dr. Neil Bernard, nutritionfacts.org's Dr. Greger. We're talking about whole food, plant-based diets that are balanced and don't restrict completely healthy food groups. And remember, at its core, the definition of veganism is an ethical, moral principle, a stance towards not exploiting animals. And there's no talk of any morality, any ethics of any sort in 80-10-10 or any of the other raw books that I've read.
And I can honestly say that I've never felt better physically. Mentally and emotionally, I was kidding myself.
Awesome. I'm glad you felt great physically on a raw diet, but let's see what these emotional issues were.
Mentally, I had all of this hatred come up inside of me after I would explain my diet and explain the lifestyle, explain how you can cure yourself of cancer, and how could anyone not want that? How could anyone knowingly want to kill themselves with food and this, standard American diet. I felt all of these really non-compassionate thoughts towards people who I would talk to and who would still continue to not be vegan.
Well, if that's the case, then it's really simple just to not talk to these people who don't want to hear about veganism. There's nothing about being a vegan that forces us to go out and communicate and try to explain our diet and explain the healthful benefits to non-vegans. Not everyone has that kind of personality, is what I'm saying. I enjoy doing that. I enjoy making response videos to anti-vegans. But if doing such brings up these non-compassionate feelings of hate, as she's saying, just don't engage these people. Easy, handled, done.
It was really a difficult inner battle that I was fighting a lot of the times. And when I let go of all of that is when I finally was like, it's okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Let go of all that desire or drive to engage these non-sympathetic non-vegans. But in order to do that, you can still be vegan. You don't have to discard veganism to let go of all that. Just don't engage these people. I know tons of vegans who have no desire whatsoever to engage in any form of activism or outreach, and that's perfectly fine.
It's ironic, but sometimes I feel like vegans, who are supposedly the most compassionate people towards all sentient beings, tend to forget about their own human race. That was definitely me, and I can look back and see how in my most hardcore phases of being vegan, not good feelings came up when I was thinking and talking towards people who had other opinions, who had other lifestyles.
Fine, even more reason to just simply be vegan and not engage in activism or outreach or anything of the sort. But I want to make it very clear there that this mental or psychological or emotional issue that she's bringing up has absolutely nothing to do with veganism. It's just some issue that's particular or peculiar about her. But veganism is fine. There's nothing inherent about veganism that makes you have this psychological issue. All right, towards the end of the video, Dorothea gives some kudos to how her 4.5-year stint as a raw vegan actually helped her in many ways.
It made me want to stand up for who I was. It gave me a newfound sense of self and confidence. It did a lot of good things for me. And like I said, I've never felt better physically. But there were also some cons.
So let's check out our list of cons here, and let's pay attention to see if there's anything just so inherently flawed, something that just you cannot correct that would force one to quit being vegan.
Okay, I definitely felt restricted.
Well, that's because you were trying to eat a raw vegan diet for 4.5 years. There's absolutely nothing restrictive that I find about being vegan. I mean, just in the past few weeks, Angie and I made a trip to Las Vegas, stayed at the Wynn, ate completely vegan, watch our vlog about that, and watch our vlog about going to Disneyland, eating vegan. But I could see, if you're a raw vegan, that would be much more difficult.
It was hard to go out to eat. It was hard to socialize.
Again, these are just difficulties of following a raw lifestyle. You just can't go out to most restaurants. You can't go out to eat with your friends. It's hard to socialize, but if you're not raw and you eat, again, a sensible vegan diet, a regular vegan diet that doesn't avoid cooked food, your social life opens up exponentially. The amount of places you can go and eat at opens up exponentially. What's more important to you? To stay on this dogmatic, restrictive diet of fruits, vegetables, and salads, or following a lifestyle which seeks to exclude as far as is possible and practicable all forms of exploitation of and cruelty to animals for food, clothing, or any other purpose? I think it's pretty easy. So if I were following a raw lifestyle and it were not working out for me, instead of switching as Dorothea did next to a Mediterranean diet, which incorporates all forms of animal products, I would say, okay, I did the extreme vegan diet for 4.5 years. Maybe that wasn't the best choice. Maybe there's a reason why people like me have responded to so many of these recent former vegans, these YouTubers that have quit recently, and what ties them all together, they all did extended stints as raw vegans. And for all you raw vegans watching, I'm not saying quit or I'm not bagging on you. I'm just saying if you follow a raw vegan diet for a lifestyle, the recent statistics have shown that it increases your probability of not being vegan a few years down the road. So just let that sink in for you. So anyway, I hope my tone towards Dorothea came off as positive here. Even though I may have disagreed with a lot of what she said, I hope that I gave some positive feedback that would help her out if she were to reconsider going vegan, because I see no reason why she couldn't just eat a balanced, sensible vegan diet instead of what she knows is the extreme raw vegan diet and have success. I'm going on 9 years and I'll be 52 next week and have healthy blood tests. Things are working out really, really well for me. So anyway, guys, leave your questions and comments down below. Let Dorothea know how she could improve her success as a vegan in the future. What kinds of advice and tips? Let's not get mean or nasty here. Let's show her that vegans are compassionate. We're not hating people or anything like that. And that's it, guys. So like, subscribe. Until next time, remember, guys, it doesn't suck being vegan.
Changing your mind again. You've got me spinning circles, spinning round and round, spinning till I'm dizzy, falling to the ground. You've got me spinning circles round